Hello, welcome to everybody who's filtering in here. So we have a group training that we'll be doing here momentarily. We usually get these kicked off right around 5 after the hour. So we will just get set up here to start in about 2 or 3 minutes. And while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and introduce myself as well as my colleague here. So my name is Jake Phillips. I'm the Vice President of Product here at Seamless.AI. So working with the team, working with our customers to build the technology and make sure the technology works as well as it can for our clients and our customer base like yourselves. So really appreciate you guys jumping on here and joining the training demo with us today. And I also have with me David Toll. He is our CS lead here over at Seamless.AI, and he's going to be walking you through the demo today. So David, I'll let you give a quick introduction of yourself before we jump in and start sharing the product.
Thank you, Jake. Yes, as Jake mentioned, I manage our customer success program. So anytime you need any help with the product on webinars like this, or if you run into any issues and you need to use our little help icon down here, that's our customer success team. So we work with clients in groups or individually to make sure you're getting as much success on the platform as possible. We write content to help make you as successful as possible as well that you can find here in our Customer Knowledge Center, on-demand webinars, videos, pretty much anything that is going to help you get as much value as possible from Seamless.AI. So I'm excited to be running today's sessions. I've seen a few familiar names in our attendee list from folks who have submitted some tickets recently and talked through a couple of questions that they had. So hopefully we can cover some more of that ground today and make sure you are completely situated and ready to go. Now we're almost at 4:05 here, and I think our attendee list is full based on who we had scheduled to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into a demo of the platform just to get us started. And then we can open it up to questions and work through particular use cases that folks are running into so we can provide a little more help. And Jake, as always, I welcome your assistance in chiming in. Jake led the team that built this product. He has forgotten more about how everything works in Seamless.ai than any of us will ever know. So you really couldn't ask for a better resource in Jake to be here on the call. Just wanted to make sure that everybody had some point of reference for that, because I know Jake tends to be a little bit modest, which isn't a bad thing.
Absolutely, yeah, I appreciate that. And you know, like I said early on, really building this product is all about customer feedback, and we really do try to take that into account as much as possible and build the product into what our customers and what our clients need. So anything that you guys have questions about, definitely let us know. As David mentioned, we really do have a robust help center with a lot of videos and how-tos and things like that, and are constantly looking to optimize the platform to make it work harder and smarter for all of our users. So really appreciate it, and looking forward to hearing any feedback and sharing the product with you guys. So thanks, David. Now I'll let you take it away.
Absolutely. All right, so on that note, I'll go ahead and dive in when it comes to us continuing to collect feedback and optimize this experience. So we'll start with company search and contact search and how the two of those work together. Now, when we built this product, and it came out of the need, from our founder, Brandon Bernanson, to selling on behalf of Google and IBM and his team working there, they weren't able to get to 80 to 90% of their total addressable market using traditional database style solutions. And they were kind of in between a rock and a hard place and said, well, let's invent our way out of this. And that's exactly what they did by putting this search engine together. So Seamless does not run on a database, it runs on real-time data. And we have two searches in place that help us accomplish that: a company search and a contact search. We built both of those searches with the unique parameters required to access real-time data across all available sources that we can reach all across the internet. And now we've built a user experience that helps to combine how the two work together. So the particular use case I'm going to walk through today shows how you can use these two in combination with each other. You can certainly use them separately as well. So I'm actually going to follow a strategy that one of our other customers was walking through today. I was helping somebody out with this, and just so you have a real world example of what our customers are doing, this is somebody I helped out today. So he is in Michigan, and he's trying to target local shops particularly machine shops, and among a couple of different markets that he's looking for. And he's trying to keep it with shops that are between 11 to 50 employees, certainly less than 50. So we're going to start here and find companies and enter in some of those parameters. So we have a couple of different ways we can do that. Obviously, you've got a companies field here. So if you know that you want to target people, say, at Salesforce or Nike or Walmart, you can do that. But if you just want to target a specific industry and go a little broader, you can do that too. Now, he's looking for machine shops, so I went ahead and tagged machinery as the industry. Now I can go and get down to employee sizes, and I can target some of the parameters he had in place for size of organization as well. And now because he's targeting Michigan, I'm going to go all the way down here. I'm not going to search all locations. I'm going to go into the US filters, and I'm going to scroll down to Michigan. Now, if you wanted to go even deeper, you have the ability to go by region as well and by city, but he's looking for the whole state at the moment. All right, so this is what we plugged in earlier with that customer. These are the parameters he wanted to search by. You also, just to demonstrate it, can look at estimated revenue. And you can also look at company keywords, which I'll show us a little bit more about that in just a moment here. For now, I'm going to go ahead and click search. And Seamless.AI is finding companies that fit these parameters. Gibbs Machinery, CDP Diamond, etc. Okay, so good. We found some companies. A couple of things can happen from here. If you want to add these companies to your going list right now, you can do that. What you want to do is create a list. I've already got one place called Michigan Machine. If I wanted to, I could just go ahead and create a new one, just for the sake of demonstration. And now I go down and select that list. It's set up to my default. I can add all of these companies and look at them over time. Here. A little bit of a blip there. Jake, you guys aren't building anything new, are you?
Nope, I'd go ahead and just refresh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Blip there.
There we are.
B.
All right, sorry about that, folks. But the good news is, look, it's all saved right there for me. And when I head back into my companies, I'm going to wager they're already there. So whatever blip just happened that created a bit of experience for me, I can always jump back into my companies or jump back into the search that I've prepared. I can log out and log back in. It's generally going to save these settings for me unless I clear them out. So that's one way. Normally what I see happen, though, is people are looking to get to individual contacts, right? So when I have these pulled up, I can add them to my companies, but I can also hit select all. And when I hit that, over here on the left, you see what happened? Switched from find companies to find contacts. And now I have these individual companies listed here as filters for my contact search. Now from here, if I want to target decision makers, I can also do that as well by entering in those titles and hitting enter. It's kind of like adding them as individual tags. And once I do that, I can hit search again. All right, and now Seamless is going to put, now I'm starting to find some individual contacts at those different machine shops in Michigan. If I want to start pulling in contacts for those folks, I can keep my list set to Michigan Machine default right up here, or I could select another list if I wanted to. I'm going to leave it there for now. And as I click Find All, Seamless is going to pull in contact information based on the parameters I used in both company search and in contact search. So right now what's happening is Seamless is tracing as much information as possible back into the app to provide as many company lines, which you see here by this little company phone, as many direct lines, which you see here by that little direct phone icon, and as many email addresses as possible as well. It's also validating them at the same time. So all of this information is being validated as it comes in. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these to give us a bit of a view. Right, so you see how we have an accept all here on this email address? It means it's a pretty good validation, but not all the way to valid. If I go up here to Lawrence, see that again, I can see that the AI validation is slightly higher, all the way up at 71%. So as these get brought in, we're validating them, we're sending out a virtual email in real time to ping their server and make sure that we get a signal back. And as I scroll through these contacts, I can continue to hit next. hit find all, and keep finding people at these organizations. The one thing I'm noticing as I'm going through this list, right, as it's searching here, is I'm seeing a continuous pattern where I'm catching contacts from UEI College. I'm going to go ahead and remove that because I'm starting to notice that that might not be within my target audience. That might have been pulled into the company search. Now, if I run that search again, I bet I'm going to get a better set of data here. Absolutely right. Now I'm starting to see some shops. And as I find all on that data, also started to get some better contact.
Just one call out there that you could do is within the keywords section in Find Contacts, you see in the left-hand navigation there, there's a keywords element. So one thing you could do, rather than removing the UEI entirely, you could also try a negative keyword. So negative keywords work across titles, they work across companies.
Absolutely right.
Another option that he could have done there is he could have put in negative minus college, so just the minus sign and then college all in one string. And then that would remove college from the keywords that we pull back. So those UEI college would not be returned in that result set. So the keywords element allows you to put in string quotes. It allows you to put in negative keywords, and it allows you to put in things like, if you're looking for executives who have a background in security, you can put security in there. And even if their title doesn't have security, maybe they're not the chief security officer, but they're the chief data officer involved in security. So that we'll look up the profile and we'll actually look for security in their profile anywhere in there to find somebody who might be more relevant to the role that you're looking for, who maybe doesn't have that explicit title that you're looking for or doesn't have that specific element in their title.
That's exactly right. And in this particular case, too, helping this customer, one of the things we also found was using the keyword function in the company search was helpful as well. So when I use the machinery industry as a pre-filled parameter there, that certainly helped. We also went back and added machine as a company keyword as part of our search. As you can see, this now added right down there. And when I searched again, we started to broaden that data set and find other organizations that could be helpful that hadn't already been added, as you can see. Maybe they're listed in different industries, but they're still within scope of what he's looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a couple of different...
are really useful elements to be able to just further enhance your search and further kind of expand on the set or further tailor the set to a specific thing that you're looking for if you do find that some of the things that you're getting back are a little more broad beyond the reach that you're looking for explicitly.
That's exactly right. It's one of the most common things we see that we help educate customers on is that you're not in a database anymore. So some of the behaviors that made sense in a database no longer apply. And if you're on one of our unlimited licenses, you have room to play around with different types of searches, different keywords, different combinations of industries and titles to build out the strongest possible list to get to your total addressable market. So I'm going to go ahead and click Find All again here just to demonstrate another set that's coming through. And then as those are coming through to my contacts, I can filter by that list. So if I only want to look at my Michigan machine list so far and see how much I've pulled in, I can accomplish that. I can also go up, let's say I only want to look at, includes validated email addresses if I'm running an email campaign. I can look at this and understand how much more do I need to go deeper into this market to build out that email list as I go, right? So there's a couple of different tools that you can use there to build out. And we're looking at a particular niche here that this one customer had. All depending on your needs. If you need to go deeper than that or broader than that, we usually recommend casting a pretty wide net using this tool. Again, precisely because you're not limited by a database. You're only limited by the amount of data that's out there and that's searchable across all of the inputs that we're pulling in. So I'm going to take a breath here now that we've looked at how company and contact search work together. I've got a question from Jeff here in chat, so I'm going to field that. And then if anybody else has questions that they want to chat in, that's normally the best way for us to field them as they come. And that way we can take them one at a time and run some use cases here to help people out. Once I work through some of those questions, I'll go a little bit into the general settings for Seamless, so you can look at a couple of other features that we have as well. So question from Jeff. When I enter chief or director or officer and the search comes up blank, how do I find the management team, CFO, CEO, etc.? And then a follow-up. When I search a website, I find a management team, but Seamless.AI is not pulling them up. Gotcha. So what I'm assuming there is that if you're looking for them natively, you're finding them on their website, but obviously you want to do this at a cost-effective, efficient level. We'd prefer to find them all here. That's exactly what this is built for, right? So if the search is coming up blank when you're entering in those titles on CFO, CEO, etc., one thing I'd recommend, I'm going to go ahead and add them in here. And let me add a few more. I'm going to skip ahead a page here on the company search. Or hold on a second. Back to my companies. Yeah, there we go. Back in this company search here. Let me get this going. And I'm going to go ahead and remove Michigan just so we're getting a broader data set here as well. Because that often can help with really just demonstrating the reach of the tool. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. Now I'm going to try to run with CFO and CEO. So Jeff, I haven't run this search before, right? So I'm not sure what the results are going to be, but this can help us troubleshoot what happens if a search comes up blank. I'm going to go ahead and run with this here and see what we see. All right, so I'm starting to see some information come through. Now, if you're seeing the search come up blank, Jeff, honestly, the thing I would recommend is going back through your filters and making sure you don't have anything else added that could be getting in the way. I do know that the search, because like a minute ago when I refreshed and came back, all those filters were still there. One of the most common reasons I've seen searches come up blank and helping customers is there might still be a stray keyword somewhere that is causing trouble and not matching the rest of the data. So making sure all of the rest of the data points are clear will certainly help. As far as if you searched an individual website and the management team wasn't there, we're not pulling them in. I mean, we'll absolutely. I can believe that there are cases out there where the data isn't quite getting into our system. Those are pretty unique. Like I said, we're pulling in data in real time. So if there is something out there that you're not finding, something that you can get in front of us, you can send us a little bit of that information here, right on here in our help center, and say like, hey, I found this information out there. I found these contacts, but I had trouble finding them in Seamless. If you shoot them our way here as a question, we can take a closer look and run some testing on our end to see, is it because our system isn't pulling them in? Or is it because we need to look at a different set of parameters in order to find them? Part of our mission is to make sure that anybody using our platform is able to find the right people and positively impact everybody who's on every side of the sales experience, whether you're in our position and you're trying to move a product, or you, our customers, you're trying to get your product in front of the right audience. We want you to find the right audience. We want to make sure the people you're talking to aren't laundromats and they're not customers who want nothing to do with you. They're people who know they need your product. They need what you're trying to solve. So we want to make sure.
One other thing too that I just want to add on top of that. So if you get to a point where you have a named list of a few people that you found outside of the system that you want to use Seamless to find contacts in the system, we do have the ability to essentially search at a contact level. It is it's
not thinking the cleanse, Jake.
What's that?
Are you thinking about the cleanse or looking at the individual?
No, the contact search. So go back to search, and so you just put in the company. So clear all right there. So you just put in the company name, and then you can put in really any company name, and then down at the bottom you have the ability to put in the name as well. So if you put in a single company name and a single contact name, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look in our system and try to find that person. If we can find it in the system, we're going to return you that full profile. But if we can't find it in the system, we're still going to pull back that name and that company. And when you click that find button, our platform is going to go through and it's going to look for contact information. Put the full name in there, not the.
Yeah, good call. There we go.
Yeah. So if you put a first name in there, we're going to look up everybody with that first name. But if you put a full name in there, we're going to look up that full name. If we find the full name, we're going to provide you that person in their exact profile. If we can't find that person in their profile in the data that we have, you can still utilize Seamless to find their contact information, because we're going to take that information, we're going to do a real-time search, real-time lookup, real-time data validation on that contact, and then we're going to provide you back that information in your My Contacts. So put in the person's name, put in their company name, hit search. We'll provide you with that single contact record. Hit find. We're going to provide you contact information for that person as best as we can identify it. So that's one way to get around. If you're not finding it in our search engine, you happen to find it somewhere else, then you can utilize that method. And there's actually a if you put in some keywords into our help section, contact, find single contact, something like that. We'll provide you a help article that'll give you information on how to do just what I explained. Or the other option is also you could utilize our Chrome extension through social search as well and find contacts that way and then send that information right back to Seamless as well.
Yeah, we'll certainly get to the social search here in a minute because the combination of Sales Navigator and our Chrome extension provides some opportunities to here too. I think this also, I've got a good question from Kevin on exporting that I want to make sure I cover here in a second, Kevin. So I'll be right with that because I think it's a great functionality question. One thing I want to call attention to is you're searching individual contacts. One of the benefits that Seamless provides outside of being a tool that helps you build these lists at scale, you have these intel features here as well. And this is one of the elements that our sales team relies pretty heavily on when they're calling individual people. You can click on that icon and it will gather as much intel as possible on that company down below, but also on the individual. So if they wanted to pop open John's LinkedIn and take a look, learn a little bit about what he's been up to, or even open his Facebook or his Twitter and do the same thing, that's something you can easily do right here from within the platform. LinkedIn's working a little bit slow today, so we'll see what happens once we get it for the Sales Navigator as well. In the meantime, I'm going to pop back over here. And Kevin, I saw your question. How can I export these email addresses into a format that I can copy and paste? We're thinking exactly along the same lines. We definitely wanted to make sure you'd be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a different list here to demonstrate. If I pull up, when I get back here into my contacts, there's an option to download. Now, you can download everything that you've acquired so far as contacts go, but you can also perform some filtering from right here within Seamless. So if I filter the list and I look for, say, this debt consolidation list that I put together at one point, and let's say I also want to filter by valid email to run a campaign. We do have contacts that match those filters. I'm going to reset them. Maybe I don't. That one. I'm going to pick a different one here. That might have been one of my experimental ones trying to figure something out. So if let's see, healthcare VP, I'm going to go ahead, filter by that list, and then I'm going to filter by valid email again. So now I'm starting to pull together this list, right? And obviously, if I were to search a little bit further in here, I'd have more to work with. Now, when I go to download, if I hit download filtered or download all, that will provide me with filter will provide me with just the filters that I have set up here. Download all will provide me with a CSV that will allow me to copy and paste email addresses and phone numbers, any of the other information I've downloaded that I want to use in order to reach out and contact, depending on what type of campaign I'm running. If I'm running a call campaign or an email campaign, that's exactly where you can do that. We also have a native Salesforce integration that's been installed. So if you want to automatically import these leads over to Salesforce, that is something that you can do. We have other integrations on the way, including HubSpot. I think that's actually in testing right now and could be released very soon. And then a number of other integrations lined up down the road, including Zapier and a couple of other CRMs. So I'll go ahead and let this Excel load up, and then you can take a look at the data set. So we are on the side of providing probably more than you need, but it does include email address. Most people download the clean data. The raw actually includes more than this, but erring on the side of providing you with as much as possible so you can make informed decisions about who to reach out to. That's good, Kevin. I hope that helped. I'm going to go ahead and quickly, I know I've got a few more questions in there that I'll field as we go. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate our social search here real quick so that we can take a look at that. Let's say I want to stick with VPs at Zappos or move the name search. I'm going to go ahead and click on social. Now I'm automatically being kicked over into LinkedIn, and shortly here I'll move into the Sales Navigator experience. In order to perform these functions, you do need to have our Chrome extension installed, which you can see I've got it installed right up here. And what that basically does is it allows the most valuable functions of Seamless to layer over LinkedIn, so that if you're used to Sales Navigator or features like it, and if you've been living in that for a long time, Jeff, I can see your comment that like, hey, I'm in sales, there's a certain kind of target audience I'm looking to get to, and you probably have a way of doing it that precedes using Seamless. So that's why we built the Sales Navigator extension, to give you the ability to use seamless and pull data back in here so you can continue to build contact lists, build company lists, and perform the validation that Seamless takes care of to make sure that email addresses and phone numbers are as accurate as possible. It's using the parameters that LinkedIn Sales Navigator sets up for you. Because we've set up these two different searches over here, one for companies and one for contacts, and found a way to make them work together. That said, if you're used to LinkedIn Sales Navigator and the workflow there is comfortable for you, then assuming LinkedIn decides to wake up and show us what they found in that search, we can layer it right over what they're doing. You take a
And I will
moment
say
here.
that, with if you are looking to, target a broad list of contacts at a, C management level, and you're looking to get as many of those as possible, Sales Navigator and that approach, we do find a lot of people utilizing that, and it is quite efficient. We're continuously building this platform. We don't have quite the amount of time under our belt or money under our belt as LinkedIn, but we do have, the solution that complements what's that is doing right now. So we find a lot of people get a lot of success out of using these two tools in complement, especially if you are looking to build a really broad list around a general target set of industries as opposed to, target set of companies that you're going after.
I want to apologize to everybody on behalf of LinkedIn. It looks like they're running a little bit. So I guess a lot of people are getting value out of LinkedIn today, I would guess. So I'll let this continue to load while we go a little bit further into settings, just to make sure we cover that for you as well. Because this could be a good place, good point of reference to make sure you're jumping in to have as many of the features enabled as possible. If you'd like to add our Google Chrome extension, you can do so from right in here. You can also add your email account, plug it into Google, whatever Microsoft, whichever one you use, to help enable more integration on that front and source more of that information from your contacts. Add a CRM. Right now, we currently have that Salesforce integration live. We'll have more options available here shortly, especially once HubSpot is released from testing. And then user management. This is where you can go if you want to review current status of licenses. If I want to add licenses, I can jump over to upgrade my account, help more people from my team join up, whether it's on a monthly payment or an annual payment. I can also invite people directly from that section of my account as well. Go back and demonstrate that real quick. If I wanted to invite new members, add them as unlimited, add them as free accordingly. All right, so Sales Navigator is taking it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick refresh here real quick because I do want to make sure we get a chance to look at the experience in LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Jake, I saw your comment in the chat as well, and that is a good reminder that not only do we have webinars like this available on demand in our customer knowledge base, we can send some links to those around after this webinar is completed. We actually also have videos on using the Chrome extension in Sales Navigator explicitly. So we can share some more information on that as well. Yeah, I want to apologize. I'm a little surprised that LinkedIn is working this slow right now. It's pretty unusual. But if they're able to perk, and if they're not able to perk up and we're not able to get things going with them, then we can certainly send around that demo that walks through in more detail what the Sales Navigator experience looks like. I'm going to just try to clear out that search and see if that helps us access it. In the meantime, back here on the app, we went through company search, we went through how that lives with contact search and a couple of ways that you can use both. We did take a look at when you're in My Contacts, your ability to filter and export content so that you can use it outside of Seamless in a meaningful way, whether you're downloading it into a CSV or importing it into your CRM. We reviewed where the Help Center is as well. Please never hesitate to reach out to us with any questions. You can also search here. If you're trying to find more information, we have a full library of content that can help you as well. I'm going to go ahead and kick this open real quick just to demonstrate. My contacts using Find All. And then that'll pop open our knowledge base, which you can run through. You have related articles over here on the side. And if you just want to jump back to a chapter-by-chapter review of our knowledge base, it's all right here. It's all searchable. And we have an ever-growing library of on-demand videos and webinars on multiple topics that are available here as well. Yeah, at this point, I'm almost tempted to forego LinkedIn altogether and simply show you the demo video as it exists in the Knowledge Center. I'll go ahead and show you where you'll be able to find that for your own reference. It's all under our social search chapter. And then if I want to look at an overall video of how it works, of course, Jake put the video himself, didn't he? And then a couple of other ones that go into a little more detail. How to seamlessly.
You can also, within that too, this is an explicit video. There's a step-by-step walkthroughs and guides, so you can click into social search and just kind of show a couple of screens there on how this works and what exactly it looks like. So you can see there, those find buttons that you see in the seamless search, those are going to follow you along within LinkedIn, within profile pages and search pages, on Sales Navigator as well. So it looks just like it looks within the seamless search engine, but you're seeing those directly within your LinkedIn experience. So it's going to do the same thing. So you click that find or that find all button. One thing to note when you click find all is we're actually going to automatically scroll down the page and scroll back up for you. So don't be alarmed if your computer starts to take over on you. When you click find all, we scroll down to make sure we capture all that information, scroll back up. And then as soon as that flips over to view, that means all that information has been sent over to your My Contacts within your Seamless account. So whether you find it in Seamless Search or you find it in LinkedIn and you click that find button, it's all going to end up in your My Contacts if you're finding a contact, or your My Companies if you're finding a company. And so once that happens, all that information is going to go there. It's going to be real-time researched and validated using the Seamless system. And then that's where you can export or you can import all that information. So it doesn't matter where you find it. It's all going to end up in the same place, and you can do whatever you need to do with that information from that spot. Right.
Yeah. You can also see, of course, you've got the same parameters over here that you have in LinkedIn Search Navigator. So as Jake mentioned, not a requirement to get value out of the tool, but we obviously want to make sure that we're providing as holistic an experience as possible. So we know a lot of people use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. We think it's a great tool. We think it has a lot to offer. We want to make sure that you're able to take advantage of its benefits and be able to combine those with the benefits and value that we provide as well by helping you source these contacts and pull them in for further validation. All right, let's look at, we've got that link out there to our knowledge base. Jake, thank you for chatting that over. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if LinkedIn Sales Navigator is going to join us today. I'm going to try one more time, see if we can get them to pull up here just so we can take a look. And hopefully maybe the workflow will be a little bit, here we go. All right, so I know we have a good amount of time here left with almost half an hour remaining. So we'll go ahead and run a quick demo just to make sure you see it in action, assuming that it does load up. Maybe it won't. There we go. All right, well, it heard us talking about it. Now we're good. All right, so one addition to, and Jake, we'll have to go back and look at that, look at some of the images in that article. We do actually also have the ability for you to add and change the default list here from within the Chrome extension. So if I wanted to change the geography up a little bit and look in Oregon, if I can spell, and reframe my search there. Maybe I can look for apparel and fashion, and I can learn that there are no apparel and fashion companies in Oregon apparently, so let's reset to California. I might have another filter in place. I'm just going to go ahead and clear those out. All right. But yes, you can see that not only do we have the find and find all, I'm going to go ahead and click find all on these just so you can see the experience. I'm not touching anything. LinkedIn was just moving down that page for me right there. You can go ahead and add lists from here, set defaults, get all updates in real time back in the Seamless app.
And I just wanted to say one last time, thanks everybody for jumping on. I actually have to jump off here momentarily, so David's going to continue to take care of you. But we will also get this recording posted into our help center, and you'll find a link shortly to all of our under that webinar section of the recent recordings that we're just about to get posted here. So within the next 12 or so hours, we'll have that up and ready for you to reference again. And you can also just utilize all the different helpful information within that section. And hopefully that helps out further as you continue on your way. So thanks, everybody. I'll leave it up to David here to continue.
Thank you very much, Jake. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. One element that I'll try to demonstrate here for you, if you've been using lead lists and link